Pulse on the HAN network. I'm Kate Jablonski, and a little later in the show, we're going to be bringing some of the highlights from a recent GOP gubernatorial debate. Now, we'll also have drawing conclusions later on with our editorial cartoonist Doug Smith. But first, back in February on CT Pulse, we talked with Ridgefield High student Lane Murdoch. Now, following the school shooting in Parkland, Florida, she helped launch the National School Walkout that schools participated in across the country last Friday. Now, we should say this movement, of course, was met with some pushback from those saying that students shouldn't be walking out of school again or getting political. There was at least one letter to the editor in our own Ridgefield Press against the walkout, but also a lot of local and national support. Now, last Friday, an estimated 1,000 students walked out of class at 10 a.m. and the event, staged on the 19th anniversary of the mass shooting at Columbine High School, was a far more politically inclined affair than a similar walkout that happened back on March 14th. Now, students at this event were openly calling for reforms to the nation's gun laws. Now, Peter Yankowski of HAN's Ridgefield Press was there, and he put together some video of the event. Now, you hear some high winds in the background, but he spoke with some of the organizers and even U.S. Senator Richard Blumenthal, who came out in support of that movement. Take a look.
I think it's great, and I think that this is happening all over the country shows that we're not going to wait for change, we're going to make it. Yeah!
How many people said they're marching out with you today?
27,000 schools.
Cool.
Woo! Well, I think that's exactly what we expected.
RHS! Who are we? RHS! Who are we? RHS! What do we change? Woo!
We're supposed to sit down. Bobby! You can eat paper, but Bobby's smart enough.
Really incredible to see how many students are passionate about preventing gun violence. I mean, this right here is a testament to the commitment on behalf of the teenage generation right now. We're devoted, we're coming in November, and we're going to elect politicians who will enact common sense gun reform.
How, with the amount of I guess sluggishness with Congress, do you think that's really possible? Do you think there'll be new gun legislation out of all of this?
Frankly not with the current Congress. The current Congress is absolutely unwilling to pass any gun legislation, which is why when November comes we have to elect politicians who are willing to put forward common sense gun legislation. There are a lot of politicians.
What do you think of the turnout today?
This turnout is awesome.
And it's only
the spirit, passion,
the
sense of dedication. I think send a very powerful message. All around.
Since Columbine 19 years ago, where 13 students, just like yourselves, were gunned down, since that time, 187,000 students have been exposed to gun violence on campuses during school hours. 187,000 students. This is more children than the entire population of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and 7 times the population of Ridgefield, Connecticut.
Do you feel like you've won anyone over who maybe wasn't interested in coming out today? Like, do you feel like there are people here who maybe aren't 100% behind gun laws, but are here to support you?
Yeah, I think there's just knowing these kids personally, I know that we have varying, opinions, and I've seen them express that. But I think the power of young people is that we're willing to listen to one another, and I've always believed that, and now I think we have proof of that. And I think that's how we're going to get change done, is that you do have to start listening, you do have to start having those conversations.
Has that been messy at times, like having those conversations with people who are maybe kind of more against you?
Oh yeah, I mean there's always going to be some sort of conflict point, but if you can work through that, that's how you really get that change.
Is there negativity from the students who want to stay inside, or is it more of a respect?
First, I'm going to take this picture back to the Senate of the United States. And I'm going to say, here is what the future of America looks like. You better respect these voices and faces. You better know that we are in the midst of a new social change movement. And like every other movement, civil rights, anti-war, women's health care. This movement is powered and led by young people who are willing.
And thanks so much to Peter Yankowski of the Ridgefield Press for that video. You can get more on Ridgefield School Walkout at theridgefieldpress.com. But right now we're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we're going to break down a recent GOP gubernatorial debate coming up after this.
Spring is in bloom, and so are the deals at Honda of Westport's Dream Garage Spring event. See and test drive the all-new 2018 Honda Clarity 110 MPG plug-in hybrid sedan. Stop in today and see why we've been named Deal Rater's Dealer of the Year for the 4th year running. Honda of Westport, where peace of mind is part of the deal. Get a fresh start to the new year by shaking up your meal routine. Walter Stewart's Market is your local source for a delicious selection of fresh and convenient salad shakers, like Southwest salad with chicken, Cobb with organic chicken, Power Vegan with fruit and quinoa, Greek salad with tabbouleh, and grilled shrimp with hominy. Grab one from our salad case or order from our deli today. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Dr. Stephen Molinaro and Peter Healy of Family Practice Dentistry and Laser Dental Care have served Ridgefield for over 22 years. Experienced staff offer gentle drillless techniques, preventative care, and cosmetic procedures in a relaxed environment. Grateful for the community's trust and support through the years, new patients and their families are welcome. Call today.
I've had Newtown Savings Bank my whole life. You don't have to worry about talking to a machine. You're talking to real people. You're getting real help. I'm banking local, and I'm loving it.
Welcome back to CT Pulse on the HAN Network. Now, with such a large field of candidates vying for governor, both Democrats and Republicans, we're seeing a lot of debates and forums. Now, the GOP held one last week in New Canaan featuring 9 of the Republican hopefuls. Now, what's been tricky about these debates is with so many people, you really don't get that much information. Well, our New Canaan Advertiser editor, Greg Riley, found kind of a simple way to break down the recent debate. He focuses on each candidate and some notable quotes and issues that they raised. Now, we should say that New Britain Mayor Erin Stewart was not at the debate last week, but she's still in the running and did just announce this week that her lieutenant governor pick is Peter Tessie of Greenwich. It's just an interesting news note there. But we're going to go through Greg Riley's notes to kind of see what some of these GOP candidates are focusing on. Now, first, of course, we have Mark Boughton. He is the 9-term mayor of Danbury. And notably during this debate, he talks about not nibbling around the edges, but wanting to end the current pension system, period. Now, he also aims to phase out the state income tax. Boughton also talked about that he would protect gun owners' rights and fund mental health programs in order to understand the mentality of violent people. He said he would break down barriers to police and strengthen interagency communication. Now, asked if he would increase the gas tax to fund transportation, he said he would instead find savings. Now, some of his memorable quotes, according to Greg Riley, he said, "This is our moment, folks, our Republican moment. This is our time. Be proud that we're Republicans." Now, moving on to another candidate who was at the debate, that's Mike Handler. Now, he's the CFO for the city of Stamford. Now, notably, he said there are not enough teachers in technical colleges because they have to retire, get a master's degree, and come back and make about $50,000 a year. Now, he said fixing that will help educate more students and fix the manufacturing problem in Connecticut. Now, Handler also spoke about improving the state's infrastructure. Handler said he would put more projects in the hands of the private sector. He said education is failing in the cities because there's too much emphasis on students' final years in school and not enough on the first few years before kindergarten. Now, also memorable that he mentioned, he said the state rewards bad behavior and punishes good behavior. He said the city of Hartford is not solving its problems locally, it's taking money from others. He said if governor, he would reward good behavior and punish the bad. Now, moving on to Tim Herbst, who we're all quite familiar with here locally. He was an 8-year Trumbull First Selectman. Now, notably, he refers to himself as a proven reformer and a Hartford outsider. Now, he said he would attack regulations, commit to education, and reduce the cost of doing business and energy. Now, tackling the achievement gap, he said, goes past school hours. He said it'll take a community effort around the clock, including in after-school programs. Now, he also said that he, quote, has a spine of steel to do what needs to be done. He said, I am prepared to do without fear or favor what is right. And he said, I'm prepared to be a one-term governor. He also said that infrastructure right now is the biggest challenge for our next governor. Now moving on to another local town leader, that's Mark Loretti. He's the 14-term mayor of Shelton. Now, notably, Loretti said mayors understand we're limited in what we can do. He said in areas such as achievement gap in education, he suggested it may be more about what doesn't happen in parent-student-teacher relationships than it is about spending money. He said educators cannot be all things to all kids. Now, he went on to say, is it the money or the structure of how we deliver our services? Now, notably, he has served Shelton 10 years without a tax increase. He said allowing the tax base to grow, and he said he's reinvented the city all by making it affordable. He also spoke more about some accomplishments in Shelton, saying we're an employee hub because we are more affordable with anyone else. He said we need to make Connecticut affordable, then you generate more revenues. He also discussed lowering the corporate income tax to help create more jobs. All right, moving on to Peter Lumage, who is an attorney from Fairfield. Now, Lumage said Democrats are failing kids by design. He was quoted as saying the teachers union is not interested in seeing city kids succeed. He also said we need to give kids the choice of moving from a failing school to an unfailing school in the district. He said competition is good. Now, he also spoke about having an armed guard in every school, removing the state income tax under $100,000, and lowering the sales tax. He also said he would refuse tolls and fees, downsize agencies by 14%, except police, to save about $1.3 million. He said he is most proud that he is not dependent on government in his personal life. He was also memorably quoted as saying, I was born in slavery in communist Albania, and I can overcome challenges. All right, moving on to another GOP candidate, that's Steve Upsitnik. Now, he's a retired tech entrepreneur CEO, also a professor of entrepreneurship. Now, he said there is a direct correlation between government spending and declining revenue. He said we need to get colleges to talk businesses so they can create trained workers for what is needed. He said build knowledge centers. Now, he also said he would work with the legislature. He said, I don't know the answers, but I build teams. Now, Upsitnik also said to deal with transportation and infrastructure weaknesses, we need to have a special fund where they can't put their hand in the cookie jar. Also, memorably, he said the leader sets the tone sets the culture, and culture is our destiny. He said also this is going to be about character. He said who can win a race in November and who will do what is right when no one is watching. All right, moving on to Prasad Srinivasan. Now, he's a 4-term state representative. He represents Glastonbury. He's also a medical doctor. Now, notably, he talked about creating education savings accounts. He said families who are in low-performing schools should be able to go to other schools. He also talked about no new taxes and no tolls. Now, he also said the state has $750 million for transportation, but it is not used for transportation. He said that money needs to be kept there. He also discussed combating gun violence by spending more money on mental health. Now, memorably, he also said his health care experience is critically important, especially to fight the opioid epidemic. Srinivasan said he wants more education about alternatives to opioids, and he wants prescriptions to be monitored, so no doctor shopping and no pharmacy shopping. He also wants to have more Narcan available more broadly. All right, moving on to candidate David Stemmerman. Now, he's a hedge fund finance entrepreneur from Greenwich. Now, notably, he talked about attracting more business. He said we need to ask businesses what they need. He talked about quality of workforce, bringing businesses to community colleges, and creating apprentice programs. Now, to combat gun violence, Stemmerman said better funding for mental health. He said more security in schools and paying for it by taking money from political lawn signs and bumper stickers. He also spoke about education, saying he understands the importance of choice, create a money follows child student-centered system. Now, memorably, he also talked about Connecticut needing to take business from other states, noting the way that Utah takes jobs from California. He also said he will be posting more information on some issues like supporting the private sector and high-quality schools and low taxes on his campaign website. And finally, candidate David Walker. He is a CPA from Bridgeport, and you might remember as the former U.S. Comptroller General. Now, notable, he said, I am the only candidate with a proven record of making government smaller. Now, Walker also said there's been some gross mismanagement in the Department of Transportation. He said the Democrats' answer to that problem is more money, more money. He said no increase in gas taxes and no tolls. Now, in education, Walker said he suggests getting rid of overhead and allowing flexibility to achieve some excellence. He said we're wasting a huge amount of money there. Now, Walker also said that he thinks this is going to be the most important election in the history of Connecticut. He said, who can win? Who can get the job done? I think that's what we all want to know. So those are just some of the highlights from New Canaan's recent debate. As we said, not all the GOP hopefuls were there, but I think kind of an interesting breakdown of what the candidates were talking about. All right, we are going to step out for a break. When we come back, we lighten things up a lot with Doug Smith and some drawing conclusions after this.
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Our Ram trucks get the job done with unparalleled style and performance. Call, click, or stop in to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck that you've been looking for. Family owned and operated for over 50 years. Save thousands right now at the Spring Sales Event, now through April 30th.
Winter's finally in the rearview mirror, and the Dock Shop is ready to help you usher in our favorite season, summer. We've got new offerings in our usual products: clothing, jewelry, home decor, fishing tackles, and boating supplies. And now the Dock Shop does in-house laser engraving. You can add a name, a boat name, latitude, longitude, an image to drinkware, serving platters, boards, or decorative accessories. No minimum, fast turnaround. Stop in today and start your summer. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Baystar and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866.
Get a fresh start to the new year by shaking up your meal routine. Walter Stewart's Market is your local source for a delicious selection of fresh and convenient salad shakers, like Southwest Salad with chicken, Cobb with organic chicken, Power Vegan with fruit and quinoa, Greek salad with tabbouleh, and grilled shrimp with hominy. Grab one from our salad case or order from our deli today. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com. Is in bloom, and so are the deals at Honda of Westport's Dream Garage Spring Event. See and test drive the all-new 2018 Honda Clarity 110 MPG plug-in hybrid sedan. Stop in today and see why we've been named Deal Rater's Dealer of the Year for the 4th year running. Honda of Westport, where peace of mind is part of the deal.
Welcome back to CT Pulse on the HAN Network. It's time for Drawing Conclusions with Doug Smith, who is the little Dutch boy this week. Nice claws.
Using Dutch point paintings there, or paint there.
I like that. Very smart. All right, trying to keep that shark out. Very scary. All right, so Doug, let's look at your editorial cartoons for this week, starting with one that ran for Aspetuck. Tell us about this one.
Oh, the aquariums, they're for people over a certain age, and for veterans are offering free fishing permits.
And the fish aren't too excited.
No, in fact, I did a variation of that a few years ago where I had the fish in the office wearing a suit, saying he didn't think it was a good idea. Somebody wrote in and said they thought that was disrespectful to veterans. And I tried to explain it's a fish in a suit who's 6 feet tall.
Nothing to do with veterans at all. No, I agree.
Go figure.
All right. Well, moving on, tell us about this one.
Oh, that's in Milford at the cemetery. It's the wall is still an issue after a year. People are still complaining about it. So
you have your little Donald Trump version.
Yeah. Just likes his wall.
Very orangey face, a little Oompa Loompa like there. All right, moving on. This one was in Stratford. I like this one. Don't bother them. Stratford horseshoe crabs are now protected.
Yep.
That is not why they call them horseshoe crabs.
I know.
I wish that it was. And I do love those horseshoe crabs. I'm glad they're protecting them because it's kind of a cool little.
Oh yeah, well don't they derive medicine from them or something?
Yes, yeah, vaccines. Very cool. Who knew? I didn't know that until I read the story, but very cool there. All right, moving on. This one is for Ridgefield. Who can tell me what the Battle of Ridgefield was about? There's been a lot going on in Ridgefield lately, so you just kind of mentioned some of those issues: school budgets, walkouts, Airbnbs. and tax hikes. I like it. There have been several Ridgefield battles.
A few.
After the Revolutionary
Yep.
War. All right, next one. I believe this is for New Canaan coming up. Tell us about this one.
Right, that's, people are, parting for, I guess, soccer practices and stuff. They're just, in plain view of the signs, are just pulling right onto the grassy area and
hopefully not right into that sign.
No, but it's getting to that point, I think.
It is. People are getting frustrated there. And finally, we have a little Darien humor about an upcoming talent show.
Right, Darienne's Got Talent, and it's for kids and adults who want to sing and dance, do whatever. And I was just, it's kind of like that, was it Dance Moms?
Yes.
I was watching.
So you're saying, let's hope Darien doesn't have stage parents.
Yeah, they're probably not going to have it.
It's a giant hand, by the way. It almost reminds me of the giant
It's a big, pushy stage parent,
All right, Doug, I love it. So those are your editorial cartoons this week. As always, thanks so much for joining us. And we are going to wrap things up here on CT Pulse Nutmeg Sports coming up at 2 o'clock. And I'll see you tomorrow at 11 for your coffee break. Have a great day.